209 online. Today we're going to talk about the moon. And the last time we were together, we were talking about the planets. We first talked about the sun and why that is so important to us on Earth. And we learned that we need the heat from the sun and the light from the sun to live on Earth. And we know that the sun is a star. And then we've also learned that there are planets in our solar system, and we are all moving around in our own little path called an orbit. And we're all going around the sun at the same time and at different rates. And it takes 365 days for Earth to go around the sun. So the Earth is going around the sun. It takes 365 days, 52 weeks, or 12 months to make it around. If you're closer to the sun, like say Mercury, it's going to take a lot less time. And we on Earth are the perfect distance from the sun to be just warm enough and just cold enough. So we're going around the sun, and we know that the Earth is also spinning on itself, and that takes 24 hours, and that's how we have day or night. So if the light of the sun is here, I'm trying to give some light on the sun, right? This side of the Earth is having day, and this side is having night. And so as it spins around on itself, one side is having day and one side is having night. So if we, on our side of the Earth, are having day, Asia, Africa are having night. But everyone on Earth gets a turn for having day and night. And to make it more exciting, we have our moon, this little guy, going around the Earth. Lots of planets like Jupiter has 60 moons, which is a lot. We just have one. And as all this is going on, we also have our little moon going around the Earth. I think for as long as people have been on Earth, the moon has always fascinated people, which is, it's a lot. So as the moon is going around the Earth, that's what we're seeing at night. It looks like the moon might be making its own light. It looks like it glows, but it's actually reflecting the light from the sun. So the moon here, if the moon is in between the sun and Earth, the light's on this side and we're seeing the dark side. So we're going to talk about the phases of the moon right now. So if the sun is over here, we are not seeing much. This is called a new moon, and it looks like the moon is like gone. I know I've heard many people say, and even my own children say, there's no moon, it's completely dark. The moon is always there. It's just different amounts of light that we see as the moon is spinning around our Earth. So after we have a new moon, we have a crescent moon, which is like a smile. Then we see a quarter of the moon. Then we see, this is called a gibbous moon. Then we see a full moon, and that means all the light is available for us to see. Then we see a little less, another gibbous moon, another quarter moon, another crescent moon, and then back to the new moon. And it takes much longer for the moon to go through its cycle than the Earth. It takes the Earth 24 hours to go all the way around, but it takes the moon about, it's actually like 27.5 days, but we usually say 28 days, which is about a month. So once a month we would see a full moon, and once a month we would see a new moon. But really, this is what the moon looks like if we could see it up close. From Earth on a full moon, it looks like dark in places and lighter in places. And when I was growing up, and I heard lots of people say, my mom says the moon is made of cheese because it looks like Swiss cheese with the holes in it. But it's actually not. If we could see the moon better, it would look like this. And the light parts are covered with hills. There are mountains on the moon, actually. And there are very flat places called seas, but there's no water on the moon. The holes on the moon were made from craters and asteroids. They're made made from asteroids that made craters, which are like deep holes on the Earth, like opposite of a mountain. And they were crashing into the moon a long time ago. So these dark parts are actually really, really smooth. And it's been fairly recent, like 30 years ago, that the first human ever went to the moon. So 30 to 40 years ago, about 35 years ago, the very first person stepped on the moon. So we really do not know a ton about the moon, but scientists and astronauts and astrologers are studying it all the time. So here are some rocks that have been found on the surface of the moon. There are really big ones and really small ones. It's a dead world on the moon. There's no life and there are no colors there. It's all very, very gray, just gray and brown. But satellites have discovered what seems to be water and ice underneath the surface, similar to what we found on Mars, but the water is not liquid. It's kind of all frozen together with other chemicals, so they're working on a way to make water on the moon for maybe people to live there. The moon changes very little. The Earth is always changing, but the moon surface has been the same for a very, very, very long time. I actually found a really great video for you on Brain Pop Jr., and I'm going to link it in the bottom of this video for your parents and you to look at when you create your Brain Pop account. And then I also have, this is in your packet, your folder, right, plastic sleeve. And I would like you to cut this apart and glue it down in the order of starting with the new moon, and then what would come next? Crescent, then quarter, then gibbous, and then the full moon. So I'll show you. Hopefully you have some glue or tape is fine. So you would go new moon, and then we'll see a little more light, which would be the crescent. Then we'll see a little more light, called a quarter. Then we would see a little more light, called a gibbous moon. And then you would see all of the moon available to us. And we know that's called the full moon. Okay, you can write the words in here on the bottom if you need some help. Ask the parents. But it's also in the bottom of your, I got this sheet from Brain Pop Jr. and it shows you how to spell the words when you, at the bottom of the video for you. And then it should look like this when you're done. All right, thank you. We missed you guys. Bye.